Everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. And the question for today is validate stack sequences. So, given two sequences pushed and popped with distinct values, we have to return true if and only if. This could have been a result of a sequence of push and pop operations on an initial empty stack. So the question says we have given a two sequences, name one name pushed and other name popped, and we have to return true if and only if. Suppose if we have an empty stack, and while the push operation pushes the number, the pop operation pops the number. So we have to tell at the end that if this operation could be verified on an empty stack. If yes, then we have to return true, either then we have to return false. I hope question is clear to everyone. And the constraint given to us in this case are that the push and the pop length start from 0 to 1000. So there must be at least no element also can be there, because it can be empty also, and the maximum value it can have is 1000. So we can have a total length of 1000. One more thing that is given to us, that both the lengths of pushed and popped are same. So push dot length double equals to pop dot length. That is given to us in the constraint. Also, the values range from 0 to 1000 as well. Less than 1000, okay. Push is permutation of popped. What this mean by this is the value that push contains, it is sure that pop also contains that values but in a randomized order. Okay, and they have distinct values. Okay, by distinct values they want to say that the no two values are repeated in one of them. Okay, if no value is repeated in push, obviously as popped is permutation of it, so no value will be repeated in popped. I hope all these constraints and all these lines given to us in the code are clear. Now we can move to the coding part of this question. Before writing the approach for this question, let us see with an example how we will going to code it. Alright. So one example here we have is 1 2 3 4 5 and 4 5 3 2 1. So what does it say? That if given an empty stack and these operations are called on this stack, we have to verify that it could be done. There won't be a case where if we can push something and we cannot pop it later on, and hence our stack fails, so our answer will return false. So one such approach for this is a simple one. Take a greedy approach for this question, because we cannot have any other approach. Like what we can do, we cannot change the order, we cannot apply sorting, we cannot do dynamic programming and we can remember the results and all. That's not needed in here. So we apply a greedy approach to this, and the greedy approach says that just do the approach what the question says, that is take an empty stacks and perform the operations. If it all goes well and we are able to perform it, then at the end we can say true, or else we can say false. And so let's with an example see how we are going to do it. So what we will be doing is, for this example we will take a counter value, let's suppose say c, or any variable which is initialized initially to 0, and what we do is we take a stack and we traverse to this array. What we do is we push every value in the stack, say 1 2 3 4 5, and while pushing, if we push a value we compare it with our popped array. So if the top of the stack, or at any point the top of the stack equals to the value to be popped, we just pop it, and we will just pop it. Also we will increment our counter, and after this whole thing is done, we will just compare our counter value to the length of the array, of any array, because both the length of the arrays are same. So if we can compare to any one of them and if it's equal, then we will return true, or else we will return false. Okay, so this is the approach. Let's solve it here in an example. Okay, so I'll write it once again, and let me just clear it for now. Okay, so counter is 0. Suppose this is our stack, and now we push the first value, that is 1. We compare it with the top of the stack, it's not equal, we push 2. We then compare it's not equal, when we push 3, and then we push 4. When we push 4, we see it's equal to the value to be popped. So what we do is we just pop out this value from the stack and we increment our counter, and the counter sets to be 1 now. Alright, so then 5 is the value, and then 3 is compared to 5, and we see it's not equal. So what we do is we again push an element from this, and now the contents of the stack are, let me draw it over here. So 1 2 3 4 we popped it out, and 5 is pushed. Now 5 will be compared to the popped value, it's equal. Then we pop it out and increment the counter. Now counter sets to 2. Now the content of stack are 1 2 3. 3 is also equal, so we pop it out and counter becomes 3. Similarly 4 and 5. And after that everything, the stack is empty, and we have traversed each value of the push stack. Now while we come out of the loop, we compare this value with the length of either of this. So this value is equal to the length of this, so we have traversed the whole array, and the stack is empty. So now we can say that these operations can be performed on a stack which is empty. Okay, so we will return true. Let's see in another example in which this might be not valid. Okay, so we take a counter initially here, set it to 0. We take an empty stack and we traverse our pushed array, so and compare it with the top of the popped array. So we push 1, we push 2, then 3 and 4. Since 4 is equal to this value, we just pop it out and increment our counter. The counter is set to 1. Alright, so now what will be done is, now it's 3 is also equal to this, so we pop it out and set our counter variable to 2. Alright, and after that, since 2 is not equal to 5, what we do is the new content of stack will be 1 2, and the last element now then we pushed, and there will be 5. So again this message matches the top of the stack, and we pop it out. Now the counter variable is set to 3. I'll delete it to avoid any confusion. Okay, so the counter value is now set to 3, and the contents of stack are, because our pushed array is traversed fully, so we just pop it out and just see the element. 1 2 is not equal to 1, and 2 the value at top is not equal to the value to be popped. So we come out of the loop, we compare our counter value to the size, that is 5, and it's not equal, so we return false. Remember, we will increment the counter value only when we pop some element out of the stack. Okay, so let me write it down again once again. First, a counter value is taken and initialized to 0. A stack s is taken, and for every value, for int x, for each loop applied onto pushed, we push every value s dot push x. We push every value to the stack, and a while loop is we apply, where we check that if the stack is not empty also, and stack dot peak, that is the top value of the stack, if it's equal to the popped, where we have set the counter popped of c. Oh, wait a second. Popped of c, and if it's not equal, if it's equal, we just increment our counter, and also we pop the value from the stack. And at the end of this loop, we check if the counter is equal to the length of any of the given, or so we can say length of the pushed length. and if it's equal we return true, or else we return false. I hope the approach is also clear at this point, and I have solved it with two of the example. So the complexity for this code will be, as we are traversing the pushed array completely, and there is the loop is for pushed array only, and the while array, we will talk of the while loop later. So the for loop, the complexity will be O of n in because we have to traverse every element, so I don't think we have to take a worst case in this situation. So O of n, and for the while loop the complexity will be, since it depends upon this, so the values that were pushed were after a while popped, and if there is no value to be pushed and not value to be popped, so the answer will we will come out of the loops. So the in the loop, the whole complexity for this will be O of capital O of n, and also the space complexity will be, as we are taking an empty stack and we are storing the values, will also be O of n for the space. Okay, so let's move to the code. So here is the code where initially we have two arrays, pushed and popped. We have stored the length of the pushed array in n variable, and we have taken a stack, and we have initialized our counter, which is the j. J is basically nothing but our counter variable, and for every value that is in pushed, we first push it into the stack, and we see that while the stack is not empty and the value of j is less than n, and the top of the stack is equal to the value that has to be popped. So what we does is we perform the pop operation on the stack and increment the value of our counter, and at the last we compare our value of counter with the length of the pushed array. If it's equal, then we return true, and else we return false. So let's run it. Let's run it once again. Yeah, so it's done. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like my video, share it among your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye bye.